Hi friends, I'm Keizle and I'm late again, but in this video, I'm going to show you the process on how I created my September digital planner in under an hour. So if you want to see my process, let's begin. So I just finished this digital illustration in Procreate, and as usual, I'm going to use it for the digital planner. I created a 2022 digital planner months ago, and I only added a page for the cover pages of each month. That is why I can just insert fully linked monthly digital planners. So let me start the creation process of the September digital planner in the Keynote app. The first thing that I always do is to set the dimensions of my digital planner and then go to the slide layout to create the different pages. I prefer creating my digital planner pages in the slide layout because if along the way I decided to have multiple pages with the same layout and links, I can just use them later on as templates. If you are a bit confused on how to use the slide layout, let me know in the comment section below so I can create a more in-depth tutorial talking about the slide layout and how to use it. And also, if you want to create a digital planner with me and see my step-by-step process, you can check out my Skillshare class. In the class, I will show you all the steps that I take to create a digital planner, and I will also provide a digital illustration which you can use in your personal digital planner. The class is free if you use the link in my description box below, so make sure to use that if you want to watch the class. I'm also thinking of creating more mini courses in there, so make sure to follow me if you have an account, and if you have any recommendations on what class you want to see, let me know in the comment section below. So back to the September digital planner creation. So the first page that I am creating is the calendar page. And recently, my calendar page has been more for memories instead of planning because I found that I gravitate more using my Apple Calendar for events or meetings because I can set a reminder or an alert a few days or on the day of the event. For this calendar page, I'm also adding a space for goals because last month I tried using a weekly overview page where I wrote down my goals per week, but I only used that for the first 2 weeks and I kept on moving stuff around. So I decided that this month I want a simpler process. So I decided to just use a monthly goals space and add it here in the calendar page. This is why I like the process of creating a monthly digital planner, which allows me to test different page layouts and see which one I like every month. And as always, I start my week on a Monday, so if you are following along in my creation process and you start your week on another day, make sure to apply the necessary changes. If you want to use a drop shadow effect in Keynote, you can copy and paste the element and then change the color of the one to be placed at the back to the color of the drop shadow, and for the main element, use the main color that you want and then reposition the main element. Since this month I'm going for the autumn colors, I am going to use orange for the font color of the main element. For the next page, this will be a first on my digital planner, which is a mood tracker and a sleep tracker page. I have been wanting to try adding a sleep tracker in my digital planner, but my brain would always argue that I already have the Apple Watch and I don't need a sleep tracker in my digital planner because I can see it in my health app. But this month, I want to see if my sleep affects my daily mood. And I know it does, but I want to visually see it to encourage me to have a better sleeping schedule. And I really want to have one, so this page is for encouragement to have a better sleep. So for this page, I added the dates vertically and I reserved 9 spaces to the left side for the mood tracker and the rest will be the sleep tracker. I labeled the right side header for sleep incorrectly and I will change that later, but for the left side header, it will be the letters of the different mood I want to track. The first one is G for good, E for energized, H for happy, C for calm, F for focused, T for tired, I for irritated, A for anxious, and M for moody. And since it is already the 4th of September when I'm creating this digital planner, the first few spaces will be blank for the mood, and I will just transfer the data from my Apple Watch for the sleep tracker. I want to have a cohesive style for the letters, and I also don't want to try and look for another style, so I just copied and then paste the September title and decrease the font size. And of course, change it to mood for the mood tracker and then sleep for the other side. For the sleep tracker headers, I started at 6 p.m. to 5 p.m. the next day. The page I am creating right now will be used for my journaling pages. I'm just going to change the header data from September 2022 to the weekly date range. For the first journaling page slide layout, it is for September 1st to 4th. The next journaling page is for September 5 to 11. This one is for September 12 to 18. This one is for September 19 to 25. And lastly, for September 26 to 30. Now I'm going to create the weekly planning pages. I'm also going to use a new layout for this month. I recently listened to a podcast episode of Ali Abdal where he interviewed Grace Beverly, and I'm just amazed at how she built her thriving businesses. So I went to Google and I searched Grace Beverly productivity tips, and Cosmopolitan article came out, and I don't know if it is really her tips, but I am intrigued. So I'm going to try it out this month, and the tips is to separate the things you have to do to quick ticks, tasks, and projects. Quick ticks are to-dos that you can do in 5 minutes or less. Tasks are stuff that will take up 30 minutes or so, and projects are those that will take a long time to finish. But I also added a column in my version which is the important column. I will try to keep a maximum of 3 tasks in the important column to limit myself, because sometimes I try too hard and forgets the rest, and I'll end up not finishing anything in the next few weeks because of burnout. And I want to start working on that this month, so I added the important column. Once I created the base layout for the weekly planning page, I just duplicated it and then changed the dates for the other weekly pages. I also forgot to create a habit tracker page, so I'm creating one now. I am loving the habit tracker page I had last month, so I am adding a tracker page this month again. But instead of using the small calendars that I used last month, I'm going to use tables. In the headers are the dates from 1 to 30, and on the leftmost column will be the habits that I'm going to track. When resizing the column and you want to have the same width, highlight the columns and then go to the brush icon, and under table, go to the row and column size. Then adjust from there. For the habits that I'm going to track, it is taking my vitamins, close my move ring, my exercise ring, and my stand ring, take a 10-minute walk, cold showers, which is easy right now since it's still hot, but we'll see when autumn and winter comes if I can keep this habit up. Next to that is eating fruits, journaling and planning, and then digital art. I will also be tracking if I did a Wanikani review and lesson and studied Japanese aside from the Wanikani. After adjusting the number of rows and centering it, I started the digital planner creation using the presentation. For the arrangement of pages, since I already have the cover page in my yearly digital planner, the first page in here is the calendar page, followed by the mood and sleep tracker, and then the habit tracker page. For the weekly pages, it will be alternating between the weekly planning page and the journaling page. After creating the presentation, it is time to add add the links. If you are new to digital planning, the links will enable you to go to different pages with just a click of a button. The links makes navigating your digital planner faster and easier, provided that you know where the links are located and where they are linked to. This is why I prefer creating my own digital planners myself, because the learning curve when I did not create my own digital planner takes quite a lot of time compared when I created my own digital planner. And I enjoy the creation process too, which also encourages me to use the digital planner every day. So for the calendar page, I added links that will enable me to access each of the weekly planning pages. I used the rectangle and then lowered its opacity and then added the links. I duplicated the invisible shape, but it was hard to reposition it for the other weeks, so I increased the opacity a little and then duplicate it and then decrease the opacity to 0 again later after making sure that the links are updated to the correct slide numbers. After setting all of those up, I just copied the invisible shapes with the links and pasted in the mood and sleep tracker page, as I also want to be able to access the weekly planning pages from this page. I increased the opacity of the shapes a little and placed them on top of the corresponding dates. After that, I lowered their opacity to 0. In the habit tracker, I also want the same thing, which is to access the weekly planning pages from here, so I repeated the process I did in the mood and sleep tracker page. For the other pages, both the weekly planning pages and the journaling page, I want to be able to access the calendar page and the mood and sleep tracker page and the habit tracker page from these pages. So I used the title part and added 3 shapes where I will add links of the calendar and the tracker pages. The one in the center is linked to the calendar page, the left one is linked to the mood and sleep tracker page, and the right one is linked to the habit tracker page. After adding those to one of the pages, I copied them and pasted them in all the other weekly planning pages and the journaling pages. I also want to access each of the weekly journaling page from its weekly planning page, so I added this one here. Then I copied the link shape and pasted it on the other weekly planning pages and changed the slide number that was linked to it to the correct one. Then for the journaling page, I want to easily access its weekly planning page, so I'm adding a secret tab at the bottom of the page. This allows me to easily navigate to its weekly planning page if I have made a lot of journaling pages that particular week. Then again, I copied it and added it to the other journaling pages and then changed the linked slide numbers to the correct weekly planning pages. Once all the links are added, it is time to export it from Keynote and insert the monthly digital planning journal to my 2022 digital planning journal, which is in GoodNote. If you want to know more about this process of adding a hyperlinked digital planner inside another hyperlinked digital planner, such as what I'm doing, make sure to watch this video next. And once you have opened the monthly digital planner to the PDF annotating app of your choice, you can double check the links and start planning after that. This is Keizle from 6B Pixel, and until next time, bye!